Hey guys, it's James from SportsDataMarket.io coming at you with another sports data analysis. In today's video, we're going to compare Paul Pierce and Jayson Tatum's points per game throughout their first 8 NBA seasons. Jayson Tatum just wrapped up his 8th NBA season, and being the phenom of the Boston Celtics, I thought it would be fitting to compare him to Paul Pierce, who was the phenom of the Boston Celtics, say 15, 20 years earlier. We just launched our NBA API here at sportsdatamarket.io. And so we're going to make use of this endpoint to get NBA player statistics by ID endpoint, which will give us back their career statistics. And we're going to use it to make a visualization and compare them. So let's hop over to VS Code. I don't want to spend too much time on the code today. This is very similar code to some of my previous videos, so you can check those out if you want to see them more in depth. But I'm importing a few libraries that you might need to install. I'm working out of a virtual environment. And at a high level, I'm calling the endpoint that we just described to get NBA player statistics by ID endpoint with the respective player IDs for each player. I got these from this endpoint over here, the NBA player ID list endpoint, which returns to us a list of all of the NBA players' names along with their player IDs. So it's useful for being able to find a particular player's ID. So having those ahead of time, I'm calling the endpoint, getting back the JSON of their career statistics, parsing that JSON, which gives us a list of their career statistics. I'm creating plot dictionaries and going to be indexing those plot dictionaries by a season count. So think like season 1, season 2, season 3. And we're assigning those to each season's the amount of points, the points per game in that respective season, right? And then we're incrementing the count. I'm assigning this career length variable up front because we want to compare only their first 8 NBA seasons. Since Paul Pierce played more than 8 NBA seasons, that's the reason for this condition here on line 12. But it's pretty much the same logic once we're iterating for Paul Pierce and filling up his plot dictionary. And then we're doing the same logic just with a new plot dictionary. But we're doing the same thing, filling up this plot dictionary for Jayson Tatum's stats. And then we have some logic down here with NumPy and Matplotlib. I have it labeled, so you can pause the video and read these if you want to see what each line is doing. I described these in some of my prior videos, so you can check those out as well. But then we're just labeling the axes down here, right? So x-axis is going to be season. The y-axis we're going to label points per game. And then we're going to set the title of the video, we're going to set the title of the graph to be Paul Pierce and Jayson Tatum's points per game through the first 8 NBA seasons. So let's run this code and let's see the visualization. Awesome. So I'll expand this out. And this will show us the comparison between Paul Pierce and Jayson Tatum's points per game through the first 8 NBA seasons. I gotta say, I'm a Celtics fan, and this kind of surprised me a little bit because when I started watching, it was like 2007, and I remember Paul Pierce as like a low 20s scorer, kind of points per game. And so when I looked at this graph, and I see like he actually outscored Jayson Tatum like his first, like if you compare the first 3 years in their league, even their fourth year in the league. It's kind of funny, right? Their 8th year in the league, this past year, like they both averaged they had the exact same average. I think it was like 26.8. But these comparisons are interesting because we see like Paul Pierce is the early part of his career. He was a menace in his own right. Like he was scoring a lot. Both great players. So I hope that you guys found this visualization interesting. It's one of the cool things you can do with our NBA API here at sportsdatamarket.io. Feel free to come over and make an account. You can get 75 API calls free of charge. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment any other player comparisons or statistical comparisons that you guys would like to see. I'll try to make them happen. So thanks for watching this video once again, guys. Till next time, James from Sports A Market.io.